History is often believed to be the story of kings, warriors, and powerful men. Millions of stories have been buried under the dust of time. But there are some stories that refuse to be erased, no matter how hard someone tries. This is the story of Egypt, that ancient land where pharaohs were worshipped as gods on earth. But this is not the story of any pharaoh. This is the story of a woman who broke the chains of tradition and declared herself king. Her name was Hatshepsut, a woman ruler who governed Egypt for nearly 20 years with peace and prosperity. She built monuments so grand that even today they leave the human mind in shock and admiration. She turned Egypt into one of the richest and most advanced civilizations in history. But then, she was erased from history, as if she never existed. Her name was carved out from stone walls. Her statues were broken, shattered, and buried underground. The question is, why? Who was Hatshepsut? And who was behind the attempt to erase her completely from history? Let's uncover one of ancient Egypt's greatest and most mysterious secrets. Hatshepsut was the daughter of the great pharaoh Thutmose I. A pharaoh was not just a name. It was a title given to every ruler of Egypt. Just like today, we use the titles president or king. In ancient Egypt, pharaoh was the official title of the ruler. But a pharaoh was not an ordinary king. He was believed to be the living representative of the gods on earth. According to ancient Egyptian belief, a pharaoh was not only the political ruler of the country, but also a sacred bridge between humans and gods, the center of both spiritual and political power of the entire civilization. Hatshepsut was born into royal blood. Royal blood ran through her veins. She was intelligent, she was wise, she was ambitious, and she was determined. But there was one thing against her. She was a woman, and according to the laws and traditions of ancient Egypt, the throne could only be inherited by a man. After the death of her father, she was married to her half-brother, Thutmose II. In ancient Egypt, royal marriages were not based on love or personal choice. They were political strategies. To keep the royal bloodline and power within the family, marriages were often arranged between close relatives, even half-brothers and half-sisters. In fact, in ancient Egyptian royal dynasties, it was very common for the same names to be repeated again and again. Names like Thutmose appear multiple times in history. Thutmose I was the first ruler with that name. Thutmose II was part of the same royal family line, the next ruler from that dynasty. So repetition of names was a royal tradition of that era. After her marriage to Thutmose II, Hatshepsut became queen consort, but the real power still belonged to the king. However, fate had other plans. Thutmose II died young due to illness, and with his death, a major crisis emerged in Egypt. The rightful heir to the throne was Thutmose III, the son of Thutmose II from another wife. But he was just a child, too young to rule the kingdom. So Hatshepsut stepped forward and took control of the government. Officially, she was only a co-regent, a deputy ruler, meant to govern until the true pharaoh became old enough. But Hatshepsut had no intention of stepping aside. She did not want to remain a temporary ruler. 7 years into her rule, she made a decision that shocked all of Egypt. She declared herself pharaoh, not just a deputy, not just a caretaker, but the king of Egypt. A woman had taken the throne of a pharaoh, defying centuries of tradition, religion, and law. She changed her royal name to Ma'at-Kare Hatshepsut, because according to ancient Egyptian belief, a pharaoh had to be male, the earthly form of a god. So she adopted a masculine royal identity to legitimize her rule, and then began one of the most extraordinary reigns in ancient Egyptian history. Hatshepsut ruled for 20 years, but her reign was not defined by wars or destruction. Instead, it was an era of peace, trade, prosperity, and construction. She expanded Egypt's trade networks to unprecedented levels. Her greatest achievement was the expedition to the land of Punt, a dangerous and mysterious journey to a land where no pharaoh had ever successfully traveled before. From there, her ships returned, carrying gold, ivory, exotic animals, and most importantly, sacred incense trees and valuable goods. This expedition brought enormous wealth to Egypt, turning the kingdom into one of the richest civilizations of its time. To immortalize her legacy, Hatshepsut ordered the construction of her magnificent mortuary temple at Deir el-Bahri. Its walls were carved with her entire life story, from her divine birth to her rise to power to the great expedition of Punt. This temple stood as a living record of her existence and her achievements. But every rise has a fall. After 22 years of powerful and successful rule, Hatshepsut disappeared from history under mysterious circumstances. And then, something happened that changed everything. The throne was taken by the young man who had waited for years, Thutmose III. Once he came into power, Thutmose III turned Egypt into a massive military empire. He launched multiple successful wars and expanded Egypt's borders far beyond its previous limits. But alongside his military success, he carried out another silent mission, a mission of erasure. He ordered the destruction of every statue, every inscription, and every monument of Hatshepsut. Why? Why would someone erase the legacy of a ruler who brought peace and prosperity? Was it jealousy? Was it resentment that a woman ruled more successfully than a man? Or was it political necessity to ensure that history would never record that a woman had taken the throne of a pharaoh? The real reason still remains hidden behind the veil of time. Unquote. For thousands of years, the world forgot that a woman had ever ruled Egypt as pharaoh. Then, in the 19th century, archaeologists began uncovering the walls of Deir el-Bahri. They discovered traces of a forgotten ruler whose images and names had been deliberately destroyed. Piece by piece, the mystery started to come together. But the biggest breakthrough came in 2007. Dr. Zahi Hawass and his team identified a lost mummy as Hatshepsut. The key evidence? A broken tooth discovered in a box, which perfectly matched the jaw of the mummy. This confirmed her identity after thousands of years. Today, Hatshepsut is recognized as one of the most successful pharaohs in the history of ancient Egypt. Her story teaches us something powerful, that leadership, intelligence, and greatness are not defined by gender. Every attempt to erase her failed, because stories carved in stone can never truly die. She was a light that even the storms of time could not extinguish.